Hey everybody, welcome back. Movie review time. Where basically we geek out about a movie we just saw, and we just saw Atomic Blonde. Okay, so again, we're changing up the style, just a little bit of our reviews, just letting you know. This is going to be our no spoiler review. We're going to talk all no spoilers here. We won't spoil anything in the movie, which this one you could spoil, so we won't do that here. If we accidentally do, we'll cut it out. You'll be totally fine. If you'd like to see it in all the spoiler review, we have a link in the description below, or something's popping up right about now. You can click on that. But here's where it's a little bit different than it used to be. So we don't have to keep repeating and recovering ground. You want to watch, even if you want spoilers, watch this first, because you're going to get the bulk of our review here. Spoiler talk will be more just specifics. Specifics. Anyway, so that's how this is going to work. We're going to try this. Let us know what you think in the comments. This way we can have no spoiler comment section and a spoiler comment section, and that should solve that problem.
Yay!
And then maybe everybody's good all the way around. All right, so Atomic Blonde. Overall thoughts. How does this work? You talk first, I talk first? You go ahead.
I was expecting it to be good, but it was a lot better than what I was expecting.
Okay.
Although I'm not entirely sure what I was expecting. So, I know that made no sense.
No,
but,
I get it. Makes sense to me.
What really got me was how visceral.
Visceral? You pulled a Popeye. I need me muscles. It has been a long day for her. I know, that is very weird. That's why I was letting everybody know it has been a very long day and we have a very sleepy Mary, so.
I think I've averaged about 12 hours of sleep this week.
But anyways, so, trying to stay on topic here.
What are we watching again? Is it
Atomic Blonde. No, Valerian was last week.
Oh, all right.
Okay, well, and so to get on my part, because you're so derailing it.
That's my superpower.
My expectations for this movie were kind of middle of the road. And I was more excited about it when I first saw the trailers. And as we got closer to seeing it, I'm like, this is probably just going to be a standard fare, middle of the road action movie. This is what my expectations were by the time I got to the movie theater.
With your expectations.
Well, they weren't great expectations.
Wah, wah.
So I will say the movie exceeded my expectations. Maybe not as much as I would have liked them to, because I definitely have some issues with this movie. Overall, I think the story was really good. There were some good twists and turns, some things you didn't see coming. I think the marketing hurt this movie a little bit. I won't say what, since this is no spoilers, but there's a scene that's very featured in the marketing that is like the end of the movie. It's like an epilogue to the movie.
Because even I was going like,
yeah, where's that scene?
Is this Rogue One all over again?
So I had those kind of issues. I think for me, my biggest issue is, and like you were saying, the violence gets very visceral. Yeah. Like the second half of that movie is really intense.
It doesn't really feel like stunt fighting. It feels like they are really wailing on each other.
And I was going to say, for me, that's like the second half of the movie. See, in the beginning half, I felt the fighting style was more stylized. It was more kind of dancey, choreographed, couldn't be real life violence, but still cool. And if anything, that's one of my problems with the action and the violence in this film, is I felt it was either unsure of the direction they wanted to go with it, and I think it needed to be one or the other, and they didn't quite mix it very well, because when it became like true and realistic and brutal, real life kind of violence, it is engaging and intense. And the other stuff could have been cool, but I don't know.
I thought the early fight scenes were still pretty good.
No, I'm not saying they weren't bad. I'm just saying tonally they were different, and it was weird.
Well, I think that's part of the actual progression of the actual story. That may have been intentional.
I can see that.
At the beginning, where she's really in control of the situation, it's super clean. So bam, 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 bam.
When those things fall apart, it gets more animalistic.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can agree with that statement.
Okay.
But still, for my personal tastes, I would have liked them to pick one or the other, and be a little more.
No,
but that's just me.
But no, I think it was an actual intentional de-evolution.
And maybe because again, I feel like
because you get towards the end, and you're like. It's all anybody can do to stay upright.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of my problem, though, in a lot of elements in this movie, though, because I feel like the director of this did a really good job. I don't know if this was a first-time director or something, because I don't feel it was as like strongly handled as it should have been. Because my other kind of complaint is I feel like if this movie did not have any kind of style to it, then it would have been kind of a standard movie for its fare. A really good version, but it's the kind of thing you've seen a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Whereas this did have some really cool stylistic choices going on,
yeah.
but not enough. Like, whereas maybe it should have been dripping in stylism, it was just lightly basted in stylism, you know? Because I mean, again, there's color choices and cinematography choices that are really, really nice. But again, there's like, they do like once or twice, they'll do some interesting cuts or transitions, but then it gets really basic for the rest of it. And it's like, it kind of feels like somebody was timid, not wanting to, like, they couldn't decide if they wanted to go full bore on it. And it just kind of hit in the middle somewhere with that.
I think that there was some question as to, it's set in the 80s.
Yeah, 89, Fall of the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
No spoilers, that's right away.
So,
and it's based on a graphic novel.
And like, I think there was some debate as to how much of an actual 80s movie to make it.
Yeah.
Like the opening credits.
Yeah, because again, that's where it's very stylized to me too. So I wonder if some of that
because
is...
I was, now correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me we don't get in the opening credits like we used to get, where like you have like all, I mean, you'll get the stars maybe, but like not like, you know, casting and...
Oh yeah, they don't do like almost the entire credit list.
yeah, because I mean they did do a lot of that.
Yeah.
So and it did feel a bit throwbacky that way.
Yeah, and you know, in hindsight, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering if some of this stylism, I don't know if stylism doesn't feel like that's a real word, but I'm using it anyways. I'm wondering if some of this might have been studio. Being like, we need to do something to punch this up a little bit. Because now I wasn't thinking about this during the movie, so I'd have to re-see it to gauge my thoughts about this. But I'm thinking maybe a lot of this might have come in post. They might have redesigned the title sequence in post to be a little more colorful, a little more interesting. They might have redesigned some of those cuts and transitions and sound design to be more interesting. So it may have been in response to the way the trailers worked, and that may have hurt the film a little bit. I'm not, you know, I mean, I don't know, because I really like this film, but again, I'm trying to be an actual reviewer these days and give you guys a critique, you know, of what I thought worked and what I didn't. And I think this is an area that I was a little bothered by.
I don't know. I liked it.
Well, and again, we both like the movie.
Okay.
So.
Okay, let's move on to music.
I wasn't done. No, that's fine. Yeah, we can move on to music.
Because I love the way they use music.
Yeah, and again, where it's set in 89.
It's a killer soundtrack.
It's very 80s. And you know, not really a spoiler, but there's like at least 3 versions of 99 Red Balloons in this movie. Which, you know, I mean, is totally appropriate for the subject matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they did. I agree. They use the music very well. The score by Tyler Bates, what little of it is in there, is very good.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like forced song choices. The song choices, I do agree, kind of helped play into the story and move along the story and everything.
Although I have to say, George Michael's been, I'm not going to say ruined for me by Keanu, but
yeah,
that's all I can think of.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil that. If you haven't seen Keanu, go see that. But yeah, the music I thought was really, really good. Performances all the way around, fantastic. I don't have a single negative thing to say about that. We should probably rave on.
Spoilers.
Well, I was gonna say we should rave on Charlize Theron a little bit.
Oh yeah,
she was fantastic in this. Now we know she's a fantastic actor, but I mean, she also very much was fantastic in the action, and was every bit believable that she could do the thing she was doing, as she is just a dialogue performer or emotional performer.
We need to get her cast as a superhero.
Was it? No, I think that was Uma Thurman. I was thinking there was like that bad comedy about my super ex-girlfriend or whatever, but I think that was Uma Thurman. But yeah, well, we saw her as Furiosa, but... But yeah, no, and she's fantastic. John Goodman's in it a little bit. He's fantastic. James McAvoy is really, you've seen the trailers. He's kind of a little scummy, a little punky, and he's really, really good at that.
Yeah.
Again, story-wise, there's some great twists and turns, which we'll talk about in spoilers. Flow of the movie, I think, was really good. But I do think somewhere about in the middle, when the big, how can I say this without spoilers? The big mission begins.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's a movie, so you know things are going to go haywire. So like when all that stuff starts, that I think is when the movie really hit its stride, and all the way through the rest of the movie until maybe the epilogue totally played through. Although the epilogue is really good, so we'll talk more about that in spoilers. And the beginning's not boring or anything. It does have a little bit of, okay, what is this movie going to do? Where's it trying to go? But again, it's all set up that you kind of need, so...
Yeah, because, I mean, this is a spy thriller. It needs time to
lay the characters and lay out the plot and drop the little details that when you go back and know what the twists are, you'll be like, oh, they did set that up, all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. And I like the way it opens. I think it was really neat that it was almost black and white, with just little touches of color. I thought that was pretty cool.
Very, very cold blues.
Yeah, they did a really good job there. And I like the way they set up the time period, all that kind of stuff. So it was very, very good. Editing, cinematography, all that stuff's top notch. There's one of those great action scenes where they have the programmed digital camera rig, so it's all done in one giant cut or cut-free sequence, which is pretty cool. We'll talk more about that in spoilers. But
now, I have to say, going back to the 80s, there were a couple of green screen or blue. I guess back then it would have been blue screen type things. It's like, oh, that you're so not there.
Well, in all fairness, this wasn't made in the 80s, so I'm sure they used green screens. But but again,
but back when they used the blue screens, it was always more obvious, I think.
Yeah, well, the optical compositing and stuff is not what it is today, because there was a lot of CG going on. For the most part, you don't notice it, but really to set this in the 1989 fall of the Berlin Wall era in Berlin, they kind of had to do that.
Yeah.
And it works. It works. Yeah, I don't think I really lost any of the characters. The plot you can follow, but it's not just easy. There is stuff going on, good twists and turns. I dug it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it does well because it's a really good movie. I mean, for me, it's not mind blowing. But then again, they don't all have to be. Sometimes it's just good, fun popcorn entertainment. Although I put this a little bit more above popcorn entertainment because there is a really good plot going on. Yeah. Anything else we should cover in the no spoiler?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. Since this is the no spoiler video, feel free to let us know if you're going to see it. If you just kind of vaguely agree or disagree, just don't drop any spoiler comments in this one. If you want to talk spoilers, jump on over to the spoiler video, which I also recommend you watching because we'll go a little more in depth with some of the things we've talked about. And let us know over there. Cool.
Okay.
Click that thumbs up button though. Give us that thumb of encouragement. Let us know if you like this hybrid split format, the way we used to, but kind of the new way, all that stuff. Thumb of encouragement's nice. And I guess we're gonna get out of here, go talk some spoilers. We'll see you all laters.